The boxing world just witnessed something unbelievable. When Canelo Alvarez stepped into the ring with Terence Crawford, nobody knew what to expect. But what happened next had every boxing expert either celebrating or eating their words.
The fight, here's where the fight really swung to Crawford. It was a competitive first 3 rounds, nip and tuck. Crawford a little more accurate, but in the start of the 4th round, Crawford opened up and really had a dominant.
Of a lifetime?
Nah, it wasn't an upset. The people that really know boxing knew that it was a good fight. Yeah. It depended on what kind of fight that Bud fought. And he fought the fight that he needed to fight to win.
Is that how you expect it to go?
You want to
see a rematch, Devin, or you think it was pretty clear?
Hey, I'm honored to be here.
You expected that?
I'm happy to be here, bro. It was a great fight.
Cracked the top 10 and he's closer to top 5, but I think he's got some more work to do. That was incredible.
Yeah, what about Canelo, man? Where's he at?
Still amazing. Still one of the greatest fighters of our time, man. A lot of respect for both these guys to get in there and give the fans what they wanted to see, man, which was a great fight.
Yeah.
Bro, shit was crazy, dog.
Yeah. Fair game to Terence, man, right?
Oh, no, Terence is that bull, bro. He's pound for pound right now.
Yeah. Well,
he just beat Canelo, bro.
They were saying if he beats Canelo.
I feel like Bud damn near basically went every round, so but yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Performance from Terence Crawford.
Beautiful performance, tremendous night for boxing.
Yeah.
And he had a game plan, he performed, and he deserves all the recognition.
Yeah. What would you like to see next from him?
To have a nice vacation and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Let him rest. He deserves all the time to really enjoy what he has just accomplished.
I told you, motherfuckers. What did you just watch? I only speak the facts.
He got on his belt. He took on his belt. Snatchy. Oh, he gave him a ring. He took a ring. He took another ring. Damn. He took all his belts and took his ring. Rob that man.
Tio, what'd you think, man?
What I think, I was right. I think I called it right, but I just said that he will edge it.
Yeah.
Nah, but he really showed out.
Yeah.
I was right, though.
You said that. You said.
Before this fight even happened, boxing insiders were going absolutely wild with their predictions. Some called it impossible, others said it was the fight of the decade. But nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for what these fighters brought to the table. Amir Khan, who actually stepped in the ring with both of these monsters, dropped some serious knowledge that had everyone's jaw on the floor. Khan has been in there with the best, so when he talks, people listen. He couldn't stop raving about how Crawford kept getting scarier as he moved up in weight.
Obviously, I fought both guys. Crawford has the skill, the movement, and looks amazing in his pictures. When you look at him in training camp, he looks all ripped and strong, and he's always been that heavier guy, that stronger guy, the guy that holds on the weight well. Even though he's come from such a lighter weight, if you think about it, he's come up from, I think it's featherweight. In all his career, he started off at featherweight, and now you can see him as he's a beast at this weight, putting on that extra weight, muscle, strength. I've seen him wrestling guys when I was in camp with him from my last fight in Omaha, Nebraska. He was wrestling these heavy guys.
Khan started telling stories that nobody expected to hear. He talked about watching Crawford manhandle bigger guys in training like they were amateurs, showing strength that just didn't make sense for his size. Then Khan switched gears and broke down exactly how you could hurt Canelo while warning everyone about that legendary power that's ended so many careers. These insider secrets had fans questioning everything they thought they knew about this fight.
Heavy guys, and he was taking them out. And he was taking, and they were like at least, they were like heavyweights. So I know that he's got the strength to not be bullied or pushed around. I've been in the ring with him as well. Obviously, he beat me in 2019. But then also with Canelo. Canelo's another fighter who is a hard guy to beat as well. He's only got beat maybe once or twice. No, twice I think he's been beat, or maybe 3 times, against the likes of Mayweather, Triple G, and these are tough opponents. And when I fought him in 2016, the power he had, I mean, he's easier hit. You can hit him quite easily. You can catch him quite easily as well. But what happened was he has such a great hand-eye coordination. Like what he's
Then Stephen A. Smith jumped in with his take, and things got even more heated. Smith broke it down simple. Canelo's got the power and experience, but Crawford's speed and boxing brain could steal this whole show. He painted a picture of Crawford dancing around those heavy shots and picking Canelo apart piece by piece over 12 rounds.
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
And when I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble.
Smith didn't stop there, though. He got deep into the weight situation and what it meant for both guys. Canelo has been living at this weight for years, which gives him that natural strength and endurance. Meanwhile, Crawford is growing into this division, but facing a guy who owns it. Smith made it clear, Crawford better bring his A-plus footwork and timing if he wants to survive this war.
And I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, stronger fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always
prepared.
He's always ready. He's always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster.
As fight week heated up, the pressure talk started getting real. Showbiz the Adult pointed out something interesting. While Canelo's name already sells fights, Crawford was the one with everything to prove. You could see it in training footage. Crawford was putting in that extra work because he knew the whole world was watching and waiting to see if he belonged on this level.
I've been feeling a lot of pressure on Crawford. You know, Crawford has more pressure to try to make this fight big. Right, because Canelo name itself is going to do whatever, but people need to know who he's fighting. All right, and I see Crawford doing more work than Canelo, and Canelo did, you know, he put himself in a position where he doesn't have to work as much. The lights and everything, I did see that as a bit uncomfortable for Bud, but for me, Bud's a killer. So when a bell strikes, all that shit going to be behind him, especially once he gets hit. When Crawford gets hit, it's on. It's like what Mike Tyson said, we're always nervous, but the closer you get to the ring, and then when you get in there, you become an animal. I think, you know, all of this stuff is a lot for Crawford, I think, right? This is a big moment, and it's coming up very fast. This is a very fast, we're already on a hump day.
But Showbiz saw something else in Crawford's preparation. This wasn't about going for the highlight reel knockout. Crawford was thinking chess while everyone expected checkers. He broke down how Crawford studies opponents like a scientist and how Canelo's style creates specific opportunities. The tactical breakdown made fans realize this wasn't just about power versus speed.
Cow bonus, all that. Now, Bud Crawford ain't going for the knockout. If it comes, it comes. He's trying to win the fight. The knockout shit, that's Nello, dog. That's Nello. That's Nelo's trying to get to the bag. Let me see. Crawford has better footwork, though. Although Nello is good at cutting off the ring, he has bad knees. What are your thoughts on this, please? I was going to wait to say this, but I think I know what Canelo's going to do.
Then Roy Jones Jr. noticed something during the stare-downs that got social media buzzing like crazy. According to the legend himself, Crawford made Canelo look away first. Think about that. The supposed underdog was already winning the mind games before they even touched gloves. This psychological edge had everyone talking.
When I watched that up close, interview or what in that interaction, Bud made sure that Canelo looked away first. Bud is for real.
He made sure Canelo broke the stare.
He made sure, and you know me, because this is what I do. You understand me? I believe in winning fights before the fight start.
Right.
You understand me? I had to watch that to be sure. I saw who was gonna take the edge. Canelo did it off like it was, and don't get it wrong now. That could be that don't mean nothing to everybody, but to me, when I make you look away first, and somebody ain't gotta force you to look away.
It doesn't necessarily mean something, but maybe it does mean, maybe it might.
Shawn Porter couldn't even believe this fight was real. He straight up admitted that when Crawford first started climbing divisions, nobody, and he means nobody, thought we'd ever see this moment. The fact that Crawford fought his way to boxing's biggest stage left Porter shaking his head in amazement.
This is something I don't think the boxing world, sports, would have ever seen coming.
For sure.
Number one, you would never have seen Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford ever get in the ring. That's
Never.
blank.
Never. You would never.
But to see Terence Crawford at the top of a bill like this is something that people never, ever thought was coming, right? So, to the point of your question, and I think that there's a lot of people that Terence has. You know, funny thing, I think he grabbed a lot of hearts when he cuffed up Errol Spence the way that he did. But then he lost a lot of hearts in his fight that he had against Israel Madrimov.
Styles make fights, though.
Styles make fights.
Styles make fights.
Porter kept hammering this point home. All those critics who said Crawford would never make it this far, they all got proven wrong in the most dramatic way possible. Crawford's journey to this mega fight was so unlikely that Porter called it one of the biggest surprises in boxing history. The disbelief in his voice said everything.
Totally different, I agree too.
And I think that when this fight first got announced, you had a lot of people that just thought that this fight was going to be a wash. There was no point in a fighter moving up 3 weight classes.
You know,
because 147 a couple of times, only one fight at 154. You know, people are looking at him moving up 3 weight classes and taking on the biggest juggernaut in the world right now.
And the biggest draw.
And I think that a lot of people, that question was kind of mute for a long time. And the reason why I asked you guys that question, when did you find out about Terence Crawford, is because someone who's known Terence since we were about 14, 15 years old, known him closely since we were 18, 19 years old, I can tell you that this is a fight that this man can win. This man can win this fight decisively without a shadow of a doubt.
Well, and that takes me because you've been in the ring with him.
Wade Plemons came in with the coldest reality check you'll ever hear. He made it brutally clear. Crawford couldn't just survive or win a few rounds. He had to dominate from the first second to the last, or Canelo would destroy him. No middle ground, no moral victories, just total domination or total defeat.
He can go down. But Terence Crawford, in my opinion, has to clearly beat Canelo. I mean, get up on those scorecards and run away with this thing. And again, those points that I laid out earlier is the way he does that. He has to continue to keep pressure on Canelo. He has to continue to stifle Canelo. And he has to clearly beat him. I just see Terence Crawford, if he's going to win, he's going to have to win by 3, 4, 5 rounds, which means, again, you want to rack those first 4 out of 6. You want to be able to maintain it late into the fight. You're going to have to play risky. You're going to have to do things that normally you wouldn't have to do. You're going to have to be in Canelo's face. There's a lot of things that Terence Crawford is not used to that he's going to have to do this time around. But
Wade's next point hit even harder. He explained that Crawford would have to throw everything that made him successful right out the window. No more patience, no more waiting for the perfect moment. This fight demanded non-stop pressure and aggression that went completely against Crawford's natural fighting style.
Out of the two of them, who is more equipped to do that? That'd be Terence Crawford. I do think he's the more well-rounded fighter in terms of his offense to defense, his selection in punching, his accuracy while punching, going forward, going backward. Yes, his ability to fight in both stances, but more so his ability to counter whilst not being out of the pocket, keeping exchanges, being in the pocket, being defensive in the pocket, but also countering with feet, angle switch, and making people pay for winging power shots that aren't necessarily set up with much, which is kind of what Canelo has been doing over his last couple of fights. So if you have a plotty fighter in Canelo, who is, regardless of what you think, over the last couple of years, definitely slowed down. It's not.
But Wade saved his most shocking take for last. While Canelo might be slowing down with age, Crawford's perfect record proved he was still hungry like a wolf. This unbeaten streak, Wade argued, gave Crawford a mental weapon that could change everything when the lights got brightest.
So if you have a plotty fighter in Canelo, who is, regardless of what you think, over the last couple of years, definitely slowed down, has not been the same Canelo that we even saw fight Caleb Plant, Terence Crawford can take advantage of that with the things that we've seen him do to fighters that are plotty, to fighters that haven't been able to keep up with his pace. And quite frankly, with the last point we'll end off on, Terence Crawford has an inability to lose that Canelo just doesn't have right now. And I'm not saying Canelo's a loser or anything like that, but Terence Crawford has never lost as a professional, and that has to count for something, right? Canelo has seen defeat. There have been ways that you can say that is how you beat Canelo because people have beaten Canelo doing it.
Jarrett Hurd tried to play it safe, but ended up making the most nervous prediction ever. He was leaning toward Crawford while admitting that absolutely anything could happen once these two started throwing punches. Hurd stressed that the opening round would tell us everything we needed to know.
I go with my man Crawford because I can't go against him, but I will say this. I could change my mind once I see the first round. It all depends on how both of them fight, you know what I mean? If I see Crawford trying to stand toe-to-toe, it might be short. If I see him fight smart, I'm going Crawford. But if I see Canelo throw one punch at a time and not letting his hands go in combination, I'm going Crawford as well, so it all depends.
Then Hurd dropped some insider knowledge that changed the whole conversation. From his own sparring sessions, he knew Crawford could handle bigger, stronger fighters way better than people expected. This behind-the-scenes info made the fight even more unpredictable and had fans going crazy with excitement.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody think he coming up the way he ain't gonna be strong. They the same height. Crawford told me when I sparred him, he said, "Oh, you back all them up with 154 pounds and stuff. You ain't gonna back me up." And I couldn't back his ass up. False. We did 2 rounds though, but he was. I couldn't push him back like he said. So.
Decision is stoppage.
I was definitely going 12 rounds. Canelo ain't never stopped nobody. He ain't stopped Jaime Miguel, Edward Malinga, John Ryder. He ain't stopped nobody in so long. And Crawford damn sure ain't stopping no Canelo. He fought Triple G and Duval. I know they don't hit harder. They hit harder than Crawford. So it's going decision for sure.
Jim Gray jumped in with a warning that gave everyone chills. He reminded us that all the planning and predictions mean absolutely nothing once the violence starts. This fight was completely impossible to call, and that uncertainty made it even more exciting.
Well, he seems to be prepared and ready for it, and yes, there is that danger. Look at what happened when Canelo moved up in weight against Bivol. So, you know, there's a lot of examples, and there's examples the other way as well. So, you know, it's hard to predict what is going to happen in a fight. That is why they fight. So for anybody to say they have a crystal ball and they know, I suggest they go down the hall here, because if they know it now, they'll end up leaving a heck of a lot more money in their pocket, and you know, they'll be able to have that reading from that crystal ball. So nobody knows until they fight. Everybody has a plan, like Mike Tyson said, until they get punched in the mouth. So we'll see what happens.
Gray doubled down on the chaos factor, explaining how one perfect punch could destroy months of preparation and game planning. This unpredictability made every expert prediction feel useless and kept everyone on edge right until fight night.
It's hard to give a strategy until we see actually what transpires. So I'm sure he has a strategy, and I'm sure, you know, he can switch on a moment's notice. So, you know, Canelo's fought southpaws. He's obviously fought, you know, orthodox. So, but for a guy to switch in the middle of a round, you know, perhaps that'll be something that, you know, could be a difference. It's impossible to say here. You know, how's he going to react when he gets hit by somebody with this type of power, this type of weight? So, strategies are all great. Everybody can prognosticate and, you know, tell you what's going to happen, but nobody knows. Anybody who tells you they know.
Christian and Billy brought everyone back down to earth with a simple truth bomb. He reminded us that weight classes exist for a very good reason. Canelo was fighting in his natural home, while Crawford was playing with fire in dangerous territory.
Well, I think Canelo gonna win, but yeah, Canelo. Because Canelo is a real super middleweight. It's his division, and for me, I don't think you can take weight like this and do same performance that you have done in the past. I think maybe for me, I think the weight would be the difference. makes the difference.
Stephen Fulton offered the last bit of hope for Team Crawford. He believed Crawford's boxing IQ and ability to adjust on the fly could overcome the size difference, but only if everything went perfectly in those make-or-break opening rounds.
Fight. It's nothing against Canelo, because Canelo's a hell of a fighter. I don't know how he is as a person. Neither guy, I don't know how neither of them are as a person, but I like Crawford for challenging himself. Like, that's the type of things I do and I've done. So I like anybody that's willing to challenge themselves. Whether it's money or not, you still have the heart to go in there and challenge the bigger guy. So, but I think it's gonna be. I think if Crawford uses his boxing ability, then it'd be a better fight for him.
But even Fulton couldn't ignore Canelo's legendary body shots that break down the toughest fighters over time. This reality check created even more doubt about whether Crawford could survive 12 full rounds of that relentless pressure and power.
Because Canelo punch you on your arms everywhere. He be chopping down, punch you on your arms and all. So that's the only, and that wear you down. So yeah, I'm not sure.
That's a big what if, huh?
Yeah. So that's what makes the fight so interesting. That right there, those questions that we all have is what makes the fight interesting and makes you want to watch it.
So there you have it, the most controversial predictions from boxing's biggest names before this historic battle. Some nailed it perfectly, others got it completely wrong. The experts were split, the fans were divided, and nobody could agree on what would happen. But now, we want to hear from you. What did you think was going to happen in this fight? Which expert's prediction made the most sense to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see who really knows boxing.